Hi, I'm Kate, welcome to my channel, and in today's Stretch and Strengthen we're going to be looking at the abs, the back and the glutes. So lying on your mat, let's start with some abs. Legs in tabletop position, we'll begin with some toe taps. So alternating the legs, you're just going to tap the toes gently down to the floor and bring them back to your tabletop position. Off we go. Pulling in the tummy button to the back of your spine, keeping the neck long and breathing normally. This is a great ab workout for the lower abs. Make sure the toes come down gently. And last one, finish by hugging your knees, take a break. For our next ab exercise, we're going to work on the obliques and the upper abs. So with one hand behind your head, you're going to reach the opposite arm to your leg and lower back down. As the arm reaches, the knee comes up at the same time. You want to be reaching down to the floor on a diagonal and combine it with an out breath. Off we go with 10 on each side. You want to imagine that your rib cage is reaching towards your hip bone. And now switching over. And relax. Hug your knees. Stretching out into a big starfish, and we'll move on to our last ab exercise. Curling the chin into the knees and then stretching out to your starfish position. You want to make sure the legs and arms are floating off the floor, and we're going to do this 5 times. Off we go. And relax. Moving on to your front with your hands by your shoulders, we're going to push up and stretch out the abs in our seal stretch. Now lying on your side, we're going to move on to some intermediate clams. So with one arm under your head to support your neck, the other one in front of you to stabilize you, your knees bent and your feet under the hips, you're going to pick up your feet and then open out the top knee, making sure your hip doesn't rock backwards or forwards. We're going to repeat this movement, opening and closing the knee, and you can keep your hand on your hip to check it's not moving. For a harder version of this, you can go up onto your elbow, and with your hips lifted off the floor, repeat the movement. You should feel this in your waist and along the obliques. Off we go with 10 clams. You should feel the glutes working, but you should not feel any pressure in the lower back. If you do feel like you're taking this in the back, you need to bring your knees further forward. Moving on to our next exercise, you're going to go up onto your elbow, extend your top leg, and we're going to do some leg taps, going forwards and back to your starting place. Off we go with 10 leg taps. It's important to keep your hips lifted and your shoulder in line with your elbow. And now swapping sides. So starting with our clams, knees bent, keeping your hips aligned, picking up the feet, off we go. Clams are great for working on your turnout. They not only strengthen the glutes, but they also open out the hips. Now moving up onto your elbow, check the alignment of your elbow to your shoulder, extend the top leg and lifting the leg up and forwards and then up and back to its starting position. You can put your hand on your hip to check it's not moving forwards or backwards. And relax. Moving on now to all fours, we're going to do our fire hydrant. This is also targeting the glutes, and it's important not to lift or hitch the hip when you're doing this. So the hip bones stay facing down to the floor and you lift the knee up and back down. We're going to do 10 on each side. And now swapping sides. Our next exercise targets where the glutes meet the hamstrings. So it's just underneath the bum. You're going to bend the knee with the sole of the foot facing the ceiling, lift the leg until you feel resistance and then pulse in this area. It doesn't want to be a big movement and the leg doesn't want to be going out and in. You're just hinging up and then dropping back down. We're going to do 20 on each leg. Keeping the neck long, off we go. This is also a great exercise for strengthening the backs of the legs. And now swapping over legs, find your position, lifting the heel until you feel resistance, and pulse. And relax. Lying back down on your front with one hand under your forehead and the other arm extended, we're going to do some alternate arm and leg raises. This happens in 3 stages. The first stage, just your hand and arm float off the floor. The second stage, your upper body lifts slightly, and the third stage, your arms, legs and body go high off the floor. It's important to keep the neck long. We're going to do 8 on each side. Off we go with small, medium and high. And now swapping over sides. This is a great exercise for back mobility and strength. Now you can either rest or you can join me with 5 arm and leg raises, lifting both arms and legs off the floor together. And stretch back into child's pose. Next, we're going to move on to strengthening the back. So with the knees apart, hands behind your head, you're going to lower the upper body forwards, keeping your sit bones on your heels. And then bring the body back up, keeping the back nice and straight. Off we go with 10 kneeling back raises. Don't worry if you can't bring the body that far. It's just important you keep the sit bones in contact with the heels and the spine nice and long. Good job. Now let's stretch out the back with a seal stretch. As you exhale, push all the way up and lift the chest up to the sky. And now push back into child's pose. For a side stretch, move the arms across on a diagonal. And now switching sides. To stretch out the back some more, we're going to do a cat-cow stretch. So curving the back, bringing the chin into the chest, and then dipping the hips down and lifting the chin up to the ceiling. Now for an upper back stretch, you're going to thread one arm underneath, dropping the shoulder down to the floor and relax. And now switching sides. For a glute stretch, you're going to lie on your back, crossing one leg on top of the other, threading the hands underneath and holding underneath your knee, pulling your legs into your chest. And now swap over legs and pull your legs in close to your chest until you feel a stretch in the glutes. Sitting back up for a gentle spine twist, you're going to bring your right leg over your left knee, or if that's not possible, you can bring it in front of the knee, and then bring the opposite arm up and over and place it behind your knee. Then gently twist in the opposite direction. Moving on to a sandwich stretch, placing one leg on top of the other, walking your hands forwards, and slowly bend your elbows and lower your body down to the floor. If you can't go all the way, don't worry. You just want your hands reaching forwards and to relax into the position. Now switching over legs, bringing your arm up and over, and twisting in the opposite direction. And now our sandwich stretch on the other side. The sandwich stretch is a great hip opener and a glute stretch. Bringing the legs into our butterfly, holding onto your feet, and bringing the other arm up and over the head and curving forwards. And swapping arms. Dropping the chin into the chest and stretching out the back. Now sitting up tall, curve the chest to the ceiling, and exhale, reaching all the way forwards. You're trying to get your forehead all the way down to your feet, but don't worry if you're not there yet. Just drop the head down and hold the position. Now pushing up into our pyramid stretch or downwards dog, we're going to keep the knees straight and press the heels down into the floor, keeping the spine long. Walking the hands towards the feet, opening out the legs, holding onto your elbows and just hang in the position. You can sway from side to side too if you like, as this is a good back opener. Now bending the knees and rolling up through the spine nice and gently. And that concludes our stretch. It's bye from me and bye from Croc.